Hi, I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and in this video, as part of our gentle aging series, we're going to perform a seated and standing full body stretch to improve flexibility, relieve muscle tension, and boost circulation, helping you feel more relaxed and agile. This routine is perfect as a cool down after walking, yard work, or recreational exercise. All you need is a chair, so grab yours and let's get moving. Begin forward in your chair, and we'll start with ankle circles with our right foot. So what that looks like is I would like you to outline your foot or shoe, and we're just moving in a circular direction, and imagine that you're just tracing your foot or shoe. And as you can see, I'm barefoot, and this is excellent for people that have healthy feet. If you have a foot condition or sensitivities, I ask that you put your shoes on for extra support. So these seated ankle circles are helping to maintain or even increase the range of motion in our ankle joint, and this can stiffen with age. Now let's change the direction of the circle, tracing that foot or shoe. And as you can see, even though we're targeting the ankle, this is positively impacting both our knee and our hip joint, so all the way up that chain. So joint stiffness can start in our 30s and 40s as collagen production declines, and this also affects our cartilage elasticity. And by our 50s and beyond, we're even going to notice more tightness in our joints, and this has to do with synovial fluid reduction and cartilage wear and tear, which can happen with osteoarthritis. Now let's switch to our left leg. So we can just start a circle. Just trace your foot or shoe. It's hardest to get that inside the arch of the foot, so we're just doing our best. And this is really helping to increase blood flow to our lower legs, and it just supports overall vascular health. Now switch the direction of that ankle circle. Performing this exercise regularly can help alleviate tension and stiffness, and it can definitely reduce pain or discomfort that we feel in our lower legs. Now let's stand to the side of our chair, and we're going to move into a stretch for our lower leg, our calf. We would like to press on the side or the back of the chair. You want something to push against. Even a door or a wall would work fine here too. So we're going to have our right leg back, and make sure that your foot is neutral. So I don't want your foot to be externally rotated. That's very common in people that have an external rotation of their hips, but try to get your foot absolutely neutral. My left knee is bent, and I'm pressing into my back heel. And this is primarily targeting your gastrocnemius. That's that belly of the lower leg, the gastrocnemius. Now we're gonna bend our back knee, and I want you to shift your weight back. And do you notice that I'm keeping my heel down? We don't want our heel to drive up. Keep your right heel down, and we're targeting the soleus muscle now. That's deeper in the calf area. Focus on deep breathing as we're doing these stretches, because we want our body to really relax into these stretches. So we want to just release tension. All right, now let's switch sides. So taking your left leg back, we're going into that gastrocnemius. Remember, our foot is neutral, and we are pressing into our back heel. And making sure that we have nice and mobile calves can really help with your walking gait, and allows you to walk longer distance comfortably, and you can climb up and down stairs with greater stability. Now let's transition and shift our weight back, bend that left knee, keep your heel down, solely a stretch. Breathe deeply. Okay, at this point, I'm going to shift my chair. We're moving into modified downward facing dog. And for this exercise, you could use the back of your chair, make sure it's sturdy and strong. Or if you want more of an inversion, you could use the seat of your chair. So I'm going to demonstrate with the higher position, and that's where we want to start. Place your hands on the back of your chair and slowly walk your body back. Now try to get your head right in between your extended arms. For this exercise, feel the stretch in the back of your thighs. That is your hamstring muscle. Now we're also stretching our low back. And then because our arms are extended out in front of us, we're feeling a stretch through our shoulders and our upper back. And this can really help with our alignment and just proper posture. Breathe deeply. If you're tight through the hamstrings, your knees will be bent, and if you have more flexibility, your legs will be fairly straight. To exit this pose, slowly walk your foot in one at a time, and your head is the last part to slowly come up, because that is close to doing an inverted pose. So we just want to be very gentle with our body as we exit modified downward facing dog. We're now moving into a hamstring stretch. So I'm going to bring the seat of the chair closer to me. Balance assistance is highly recommended for this exercise because we're not focusing on balance today, we're focusing on a stretch. So I want you to use your chair or a wall nearby, and we're going to bring our right leg up onto the seat of the chair. If you have back issues, like let's say a herniated or a slipped disc is something that you've had either actively now or in your past, I need you to keep a neutral spine. That means your back stays flat, and as a solid unit, you hinge at the waist. So imagine that I just have a rod for my spine and I'm just hinging forward here. You're still feeling a great stretch through the back of the thigh. Now, if you have a healthy, strong back and you would like more, you may absolutely round through your back and reach towards your foot and thigh. But again, this is only if you have a healthy back, no issues, because if you've had a herniated or a slipped disc, this could be a very tricky exercise and it could really cause a lot of irritation and stir up issues with your herniated or slipped disc. We're trying to keep our foot flexed, so I like to say pull your toes towards your nose. And notice how that also helps you feel the stretch, not only in the back of the thigh, the hamstring, but even your calf muscle. Slowly lift your torso up, and we're going to switch to the left side. So bring your left leg up. Remember our two options. I would like you to first keep your back absolutely flat and neutral in hinge. And then if you are able to do more, you may round through the back. And some of us, we will never round through the back. We would keep that beautiful neutral spine always when you do this stretch. Pull the toes to the nose and breathe deeply. To exit this stretch, start with your torso first and then release the leg. We're now moving on to a chest stretch. So this is chest expansion. We're going to interlace our hands just like so. And then from here, I want you to lift your arms away from your backside. And this is chest expansion. This is an excellent exercise to help or to counteract rounded shoulders, which is very common with all of the electronics and working at a computer or talking on the phone. So this is a great way to help us maintain upright posture by keeping our chest nice and stretched out. And we're breathing deeply, and this is a static stretch, so we're just holding this stretch. Slowly release your hands from that clasp. Positioning your chair forward and square to the room, we're moving on to stretching our hip flexors, which is the front of the hips here, and our quadriceps. And our hip flexors can get so tight because we tend to sit so much as Americans. For this stretch, I would like you to step your right foot out to the side. Now I'm forward in my chair, and then I'm looking towards this side of the room, and I'm going to shoot my left knee down. So right at this point, I have a 90-degree angle. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you're welcome to shimmy your foot back. Do you see how I'm lengthening this stretch now in the hip flexor and the quadricep area? If you want even more, feel free to lean back slightly through your torso. So again, this is stretching the front of the thigh, that's the quadricep, and you may even feel it into that hip flexor area. And by targeting the hips and the quads, we're improving our range of motion, and this can really help make movements easier, like standing and walking and even climbing stairs. Let's exit this pose, and if your leg was extended, we'll slowly bring that left leg in, and then we will just take a few steps to the left now. So the left foot is out, and then we'll have our right knee down. If you'd like a greater stretch, just gently extend that right leg back, and then feel free to lean your torso back if that feels okay for your body. That does require good abdominal control, and the abdominals will fire to support the back when we're in this stretch. Notice that my shoulders are down away from my ears, and even though I'm really getting a phenomenal stretch in the right thigh and hip flexor, I'm relaxed through my upper body. Remember to breathe, and to breathe slowly as we're holding these static stretches. Let's slowly bring that right leg in, and now we're moving into seated figure 4 stretch. So with me, bring your right leg up. Now, so many of us were very tight. This is working hip external rotation. So this is what I would expect to see. When you bring your leg up, most likely your knee is very close to your chest. As you become more flexible and mobile through your joints, this will lower down with time and consistency. Now, if this is enough of a stretch, this is where you stay. Otherwise, we're going to keep our back flat, and we're just going to fold forward just like so, okay? So follow along with me. If you would like to deepen the stretch even more, you may gently push down on your right knee and slightly lift up on your foot. It's as if you're trying to level out the knee to the foot and ankle complex and create a straight line, which is extremely challenging to do. we're feeling a stretch in our piriformis muscle. That's a muscle in your butt. And again, you're working external rotation of your right hip. Slowly lift your torso up. And let's take our right foot down. Bring your left leg up. Again, we probably look like this, pretty tight, and you could just stay here for the whole stretch. With time, I hope to see your knee fall open. And then if you want deeper, we can hinge forward at our waist. We're keeping a neutral spine, a flat back. And you can push your left knee down and gently pull up on the foot and ankle complex. Slowly bring your torso up, and we'll bring our left leg down. Up next is inner thigh stretch. So just heel toe, heel toe. I'm just going to bring my feet out to a comfortable width for myself. I'm forward in my chair, and this may be a good enough stretch for you. So ideally, we're pressing on the inner thighs here, not the knee bone specifically. That's just a safer choice. But if you'd like more, we can actually lean forward and hinge forward, deepening the stretch on our inner thigh area. And this really helps to reduce tightness, and it can really help ease everything that we do that involves our inner thigh. So think getting in and out of a car and just making your walking gait better. Slowly lift your torso up, and we can bring our feet in heel toe, heel toe. So at this time, I'm going to offer you your one and only water break. When we come back, we'll finish with our final set of stretches. Welcome back. We're going to move into gentle torso rotation, and this is to help improve the mobility of our spine. Now, when we talk about torso rotations, I want that rotation to primarily come from your thoracic spine. So we have our cervical vertebrae, which is our neck, our thoracic spine, which is the upper middle back, and then we have our lumbar spine, our low back. I want you to cross your hands right at your chest, and we're going to slowly just turn to the right. Try to look over your shoulder if you can, and then center and turn to your left. Now, this gentle rotation, again, is trying to derive from our upper mid-back, and our lumbar spine is trying to stay fairly square to the front of the room. And this is especially important for my clients with osteoporosis of the spine, because usually when we're impacted with osteoporosis, the lower spine is more susceptible to compression due to osteoporosis. Also, if you do have osteoporosis, you need to avoid end range. You're going to be very cautious with this move. It's still an important move to do because it really mimics activities of daily living. There are so many times that we bend forward and twist. So it's not that you should avoid this move altogether. You just want to be cognizant that we want to be safe as you do this move. You'll notice that your body becomes very receptive to movement, and as we continue to increase repetitions from right side to left, you might be able to go a little bit farther. Now let's make this a static stretch. So I'd like you to place your right hand behind you, and then your left palm can be open. And we're going to gently try to keep your hips fairly square to the front of the room. Again, this rotation is coming from your head and neck and thoracic spine. And we're just going to slowly look over our right shoulder and now hold. So we went from mobilizing the spine and moving from side to side to now holding this stretch. This is a static stretch. On the inhale, think of growing taller through your spine. And on the exhale, just gently try to press the back of your hand into your right leg and deepen the stretch more. Slowly derotate, and then we'll take our left arm behind us and we're going to open up our right hand, and I want you to turn and look over your left shoulder. Again, inhale to prepare, lengthen through the spine, and on the exhalation, try to press the back of your hand into your leg and deepen the stretch more through the neck and the upper middle back. And slowly derotate and return to neutral. We're now moving into the back of the shoulder, the rear deltoid. So slowly take your right arm in front of you. Now we're going to avoid direct pressure on our elbow joint. So you have two options. You may hold below the elbow, or some people prefer to bring their arm up higher and pull this arm in. Do you notice that my shoulder is down away from my ear? Please don't let your shoulder hike up. So this is stretching the back of the shoulder. We call it the rear deltoid, and it makes reaching for objects easier when we have a fuller range of motion through this aspect of the shoulder. Stretching the shoulders is also a great way to help alleviate tightness in the upper back and shoulders, because reducing discomfort in this area can help, because we tend to have a lot of tightness here due to prolonged sitting. Now let's release the right arm and take the left arm across, remembering our cues. We don't want to be on the elbow joint, so we're either below or above the elbow joint, and you're just pulling that arm in closer towards your chest. Breathe deeply and really relax into this stretch. Greater shoulder flexibility aids in functional tasks like dressing and reaching, and allowing for smoother, pain-free movement. Let's release, and now we're moving into a tricep stretch. So your tricep is the back of your arm, and we're going to reach the right arm up, and I would like you to pat your upper middle back. Now to deepen this stretch, we're taking our left arm, and you may actually pull the elbow closer towards your head. The final factor that we can do to greatly increase the stretch is you can push the back of your head into your arm that's behind you. That is performing a little bit of a chin tuck here. This stretch is alleviating tightness in the triceps and the upper arms, and it reduces overall discomfort in the upper body. Now let's release, and we'll bring the left arm up, pat the center of your back, and make sure we're not tilted forward. We might have to look forward just for a slight moment to get the arm there. Now pull this elbow in, and then press the back of your head, kind of do that little chin tuck here, and press the back of your head into your left arm that's behind you. And again, you're stretching this aspect of your arm. That's your triceps muscle. Okay, now go ahead and release. We're now moving into neck semicircles. Now, performing semicircles versus a full circle is going to reduce strain on your neck, specifically the cervical spine, and it just prevents compression in this area. So that's why we say semicircles and not full circles. So what that looks like is I want you to start to your right side. You're just going to take your ear to the shoulder, and then you're going to circle down. You'll see your thighs, and then go to the left and then back. So I'll show you right now. So we're gonna go to the right and then down, please. To the left and then just repeat. So performing this semicircle is helping just to increase your range of motion in your neck. And if you feel a specific degree that feels really kind and gentle and you like that stretch, feel free to stop there for a couple of breaths. Otherwise, you can keep this a nice neck mobility drill where you just keep moving from side to side. If you're noticing that your neck has a little bit of snap, crackle, pop, don't be concerned. That could be just tightness that we have in our neck. It's referred to as crepitus. And as long as we're doing this safe semicircle and this is a pain-free range of motion, you're doing your body good. Return to neutral. And now we're moving into a forward neck stretch. So this stretch is going to focus on the muscles on the back of your neck. To perform, we're going to interlace our hands and fingers, and I want you to place them right behind your head. Now to execute, all we need to do is gently push our chin towards our chest, and we're going to keep our back straight, and we're going to feel this stretch in the back of our neck. So here we go, follow along with me. Slowly lift your head up. And now we're coming into an upper trapezius stretch. Take your right arm behind you. This is internal rotation of our shoulder. It's trying to keep the right shoulder down. Then we're going to stretch with our left ear to our left shoulder. To deepen the stretch even more, take your left hand and just apply gentle overpressure. You are feeling the stretch on the right side of your neck, and this is your upper trap muscle. Our goal is to be relaxed and keep our right shoulder down away from our ear. We'll release our hand and then bring our head up, and let's go over to the other side. So our left arm is behind our back. This is internal rotation of our shoulder. And I want you to take your right ear to the shoulder. If that's enough of a stretch, you may stop here. Otherwise, take your right arm, apply gentle overpressure. So by relieving tension in the upper traps, this stretch can help decrease tension-related headaches. And the upper traps is an area where we hold a lot of tension in general. So keeping this area more flexible is going to be extremely beneficial to your posture and alignment. Slowly release your hand and return to neutral. To finish, I want your feet square on the floor, and we're simply going to look to the right side of the room. So try to keep your chin flat to the floor, and we're turning and looking to the right. Imagine that we could get our chin over our shoulder. And then center your gaze to the front of the room, and then turn and look to the left, please. And again, it's very common that you might hear snap, crackle, pop, tightness in your neck. You're going to a pain-free end range of motion. And then center your gaze to the front of the room. Thank you so much for joining me for this total body stretch. I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and I'll catch you next time.